So I guess we have reached a good amount of number. Uh, we may start then. What do you say, guys? Are you all excited? Atik, Vansh,
Too
Yashas.
much, too much excited.
Great, guys, great. Uh, so I could see that the chat section was pretty active while we were all waiting for it to start. So let's just start. Okay. Okay, great. So good evening, everyone. I would like to welcome you all to the DataByte workshop on ML, where we are here to attain sustainability with our MLABILITY. This event is being organized by the Microsoft Student Community KIIT Chapter in collaboration with the United People Global under the guidance of our beloved university KIIT. We all together look forward to achieve and or try to achieve the 17 SDG goals set by the United Nations with our good knowledge on machine learning. Now you can see I used a few terms like SDG, ML, and what all this whole event is all about, which you might not know right now. So here I would like to pass it on to my friend Atik Purohit to take on with these topics. Also, well, I don't mean to brag with you all, that you should know that if you want to learn ML, you are just at the right place. So here's to Atik.
So, hello everyone. My name is Atik Purohit. I'm a member of MSC KIIT ML team. So, I'll be first telling you what this event is all about. In this event, we'll be having proper workshops on ML. We'll be learning data visualizations, and we'll be having speaker sessions, and finally, we'll be having a proper end-to-end data science project. But that's not all. First, let me tell you what is low code and no code. Because in today's generation, many of us don't know how to code, but we need to achieve some few things. I guess everyone has heard about the term WordPress. People can use WordPress to build websites even when they don't know how to code in HTML, CSS, or JavaScript. So as you can understand from it, it reduces a lot of time, and anyone can build websites. Similarly, in ML also, we have a major type of softwares like Power BI or Tableau, where we can easily do data analysis or data visualizations without knowing how to code that much. So that's what low code and no code is. But now I use the term ML. So many people are obviously thinking, what is ML? Obviously, this is an ML event. So let me tell you, ML stands for machine learning. We use previous data to train our model and do predictive analysis. Machine learning is really important in today's generation because we know we need to predict stuff. Many business companies use ML to predict future of the company, think about the prices of the products they're making. And also, not that, in also a simple thing like our home CCTVs. Earlier, we just used to get, recordings and feeds from the CCTV. But now we can easily get facial recognition, object detection from those. And even like when a person is trying to trespass our home, we easily get notification on our mobile device. So that's what we are able to achieve with ML. Now, as you know, what is SDG? SDG stands for Sustainable Development Goals. It's more or less like a blueprint to achieve a better and more sustainable future for all. It was adopted by the United Nations General Assembly in 2015, and we are intended to achieve all the goals by 2030. Actually, SDGs are a combine of 17 goals. Sorry. Okay, I will speak slowly. So SDG basically aims at achieving 17 goals, including no poverty, zero hunger, quality education, so on and so forth. So many of you are thinking how we can apply ML in this SDG things. Let me tell you, one of the goal was clean water and sanitization. We can easily make models for water quality predictor. We can easily visualize data where the data water quality is going down. Also economic growth. Just as I said earlier that many business companies use data visualization ML for their growth. So that's how SDG is related with ML. So I know you guys are really excited about this event, but now let's have a just fun session and begin a quiz. I would like to hand it over to Shubhan, who will be conducting the quiz for you all.
Sure, definitely. So Atik, well, pretty good, Atik. You gave a pretty good basic knowledge about ML and SDG. So just to create our interest in these topics and have a fun start to our event, we have prepared a small quiz game for you all to play. So Rahul, you there? Rahul, this fast.
Yes, I'm here.
Cool. So can you share your screen and share the game with everyone? And let's
Yes,
see.
sure.
Well, I would request everyone here to play this game. It's a pretty fun game, and the one who wins will definitely get a prize. At the end, we will announce the prize. Great.
Also, guys, just one request. You all are requested to use your actual names and not any alias names. Otherwise, it won't be considered.
Cool. So everyone, open this Kahoot.it website and use this game pin 9274174 to then we can start the game. Just open this Kahoot.it and use the game pin 9274174. Yeah. Great. I can see many people have started joining in. It's really nice to see so many excited people here. Yes.
A gentle reminder, this game is limited within the parameters of India only.
We have 76 people in this meet. I would like to have around minimum 45 to 50 people on this game. Well, there's no competition if there's no competition with like there should be minimum 50, right? Everyone start joining in. Great. So we will be starting at 17.17, 1717. 2 minutes more. Please start joining in. Uh, the ones who are left in the meet who haven't joined in yet. Okay, Rahul, started at 1717. After 2 minutes.
Okay, yeah, sure. I will be doing that.
There are pretty nice names coming up. Terror Rishi, Sirius Black. Nice. I like the names to be honest, but if you guys win, there's no like we don't know how to give you the prizes. Sirius Black. I don't know how to give the prize to Sirius Black. Okay. Just a minute more, guys. Just a little patience, and we will start the game. Please share the link 1 second. Great. So let's Let's start. Are you guys ready? If anyone hasn't joined in, just speak on the speaker once, then we might wait, else we are going to start. What do you guys say? Anyone left, or we are going to start? Cool. There's everyone is ready then. Okay, then Rahul, we can start. So best of luck, everyone. Okay. The first question is, there are no great discoveries and advances as long as there is still one unhappy child on earth. This quote is from Albert Einstein, John Lennon, Lady Diana, Greta Thunberg. Choose one option, guys. Okay, Albert Einstein is. So the next question, okay, Atik has the right answer. Okay, Agenda 2030 is regarded as the global treaty of the future because the 17 goals ensured that the world is becoming suitable for grandchildren, people are living in peace, the climate change is stopped, none of the above. Okay, the world is becoming suitable for grandchildren. That's the right answer. So let's see who came up first. No? Okay, I'll think it is. Okay, who is known as the father of AI? John McCarthy, Alan Turing, Charles Babbage, or none of the above? Who is the father of AI, guys? Like, I guess I also don't know the answer, to be honest. I'm very excited to know right now. My guess goes to Alan Turing. Let's see who it is. John McCarthy. Oh, I'm also wrong. Okay. No worries. Nice, nice, nice. Rohan is taking the lead here. Nice. Okay, the next question is, some stars come from poor backgrounds. Who is not one of them? J.K. Rowling, Scottish writer, Leonardo DiCaprio, US actor, Freddie Mercury, British rock singer, none of the above. So some stars come from poor backgrounds, who is not one of them? Let's see. My guess is Freddie. I'm also correct. Nice. So Freddie Mercury it is. Okay, Oradu has taken the lead here with 2,420 points. Let's see what's the next question. True or false? AI are smarter than humans. Okay, that's a very good question. I would say ki, I don't know. It's very debatable. I know pretty many humans who are not smarter than AI. So false.
Next one.
Okay. Oradu is still in lead. Nice, nice. Oradu. Okay. Next question. Which country bans begging and criminalizes homeless people? Austria, Poland, Hungary, Australia. Okay, that's a nice question. Let's see who it is. I have no guesses in this one. Let's see. Okay, Hungary it is. Okay, Hungary bans begging and criminalizes homeless people. Okay. So Lord Avinav is catching up here, but still Oradu is in the lead. Nice. The next question it is, which SDG is considered the greatest global challenge? Global energy system transformation, education for all continue, eradicate poverty worldwide, none of the above. Which SDG is considered the greatest global challenge, guys? Let's see what's the answer. Eradicate poverty worldwide. Well, that's the aim. And let's see who is coming up now. Okay, Vansh is now coming up, but still Oradu is in the lead with 5,000 points. Nice. Machine learning name was coined at MIT, Oxford, IBM, Google. That's a pretty good one because I believe Google, but my brain says it's IBM. But well, let's see who it is. And the answer will be okay, it's IBM. Nice. I think I should have also played this game. Okay, Vansh is coming up. Next question. Which country in Europe has the highest proportion of people living in absolute poverty? Georgia, Bulgaria, Bosnia, Herzegovina. If I've spelled it wrong, please do teach me how to spell it. But Bosnia it is, I guess. Let's see what's the answer. Bulgaria it is. Bulgaria has to do a lot in SDG, I guess. So Dawar has taken the lead in this one with 5,161 points. Nice, Dawar. Okay, the last question. IBM's Dash system beat the world champion of chess, the Grandmaster. Deep Sea, Deep Ocean, Deep Lake, Deep Blue. Well, IBM has really smart brains to beat the world champion of chess. Well, who it is? Let's see. Deep Sea, Deep Ocean, Deep Lake, or Deep Blue? This is the last question, guys, and Deep Blue it is. Let's see who the winner is. And the winner is 5,000 Dawar with 5,161 points. No, Uradu comes second, and the first comes. VDR comes first. Great. Congratulations, VDR, for winning the quiz. Please do share your contact in the chat box, and our team will take it from there. Cool. Okay then, that was a pretty fun game. I hope you all enjoyed it. So now let's continue, and I will hand it over to Vansh, and he will give you a brief description about what exactly is machine learning. Over to you, Vansh. Vansh, you there? Yeah, you're on mute. You're on mute.
Hello everyone, I'm Vansh, here to give you an introduction to machine learning. I hope my screen is visible. Okay, now it's visible. Yeah, so first of all, you all might be wondering, what is machine learning and why is everyone talking about it? Machine learning is a type of artificial intelligence that allows software applications to become more accurate at predicting outcomes without being explicitly programmed to do so. Machine learning algorithms use old data as inputs to predict new output values. Machine learning can be used in cutting costs, mitigating risks, and improving overall quality of life, like recommending products, services, detecting cybersecurity breaches, and enabling self-driving cars. With greater access to data and computational power, machine learning is becoming more ubiquitous every day and will soon be integrated into many facets of human life. Now, mathematics forms the basis of machine learning. Machine learning is primarily built on mathematics prerequisites. So, as long as you can understand why the math is used, you will find it more interesting. Machine learning is powered by four critical concepts: is statistics, linear algebra, probability, and calculus. Why statistical concepts are core part of every model. Calculus helps us learn and optimize a model. Linear algebra comes exceptionally handy when we are dealing with huge dataset, and probability helps in predicting the livelihood of events that will be occurring. These are mathematical concepts that you will encounter in your data science and machine learning part frequently. Now, statistical modeling is the use of mathematical models and statistical assumptions to generate sample data and make predictions about the real world. A statistical model is a collection of probability distribution on a set of all possible outcomes of an experiment. Some statistical model techniques include regression model, which provides a function that describes the relationship between one or more independent variables, and a response dependent or target variable. For example, the relationship between your height and weight may be described by a linear regression model. Now, the classification algorithm. It is a supervised learning technique that is used to identify the category of new observation on the basis of training data. In classification, a program learns from a given dataset or observation, then classifies new observation into a number of classes or groups, such as 0 or 1, yes or no, cat or dog, etc. Classes can be called as target labels or categories. Now, a probability distribution is a statistical method that determines all the probable values and possibilities that a random variable can deliver from a particular range. Probability distribution allows a skilled data analyst to recognize and comprehend patterns from large data sets, that is, otherwise, entirely random variables and values. Types of distribution can be divided into two types of data. Discrete data, which represents data that has a countable number of outcomes, which means that the potential outcome can be put into a list. This list may be finite or infinite. Some discrete distributions are binomial, geometric, Poisson, etc. Continuous data can obtain any value over a given interval. Some continuous distribution are normal, student-t, exponential, etc. Now, there's a wide variety of machine learning algorithms that analyze input data to predict output values within an acceptable range. They can be grouped into three main categories. Supervised machine learning algorithm models the relationship between features, independent variable and a label, target, given a set of observations. Then the model is used to predict the label of new observation using the features. Depending on the characteristics of target variable, it can be a classification or a discrete target variable or a regression or a continuous target variable task. Now, unsupervised learning refers to the use of algorithms to identify patterns in datasets containing data points that are neither classified nor labeled. And the third one is reinforcement learning, which works based on an action reward principle. An agent learns to reach a goal by iteratively calculating the rewards based on its actions. That's all from my side. Thank you. And I will hand over to Rohan, who will talk about data visualization.
Hello everyone. So I'm Yashash Vashne, and I'm a member of Microsoft student community and a student of KIIT University, and my specialization is in data analysis and algo trading. So you might be wondering that Python is a little bit complex for non-coders or who is just in a hurry to get insightful information from the data, like a manager or an HR or just another data analyst who just want to know his data, because that is the second most crucial thing as a data analysis. The first most important thing is to know the right questions to ask from the data. Well, there are two most powerful tools for that, that is Tableau and Power BI. And in this few minutes, I'll be showing you how to clean data and get some insightful information from our raw data. We'll be making an interactive report on the topic of child kidnappings in India in Power BI. So let's get started. So is my screen visible?
Yes, it is.
Yeah. So let's open up our Microsoft Excel, the most underrated tool. Okay, so when you open Microsoft Excel, it look like this. So we'll go to data, then new query, and from file we'll import our raw CSV file. Let's just import our kidnappings.csv. It will take 2 or 3 seconds just to get the data. It depends upon the size of the data. So this shows a little preview of our data. Let's clean it a little bit. So when we make a report or a graph, it's a good practice just to make that report as easy to read as possible. I mean, it just give you all the answer in one glance. So just check. Yep. So we want like this is for the subgroup of the cause. We want just the adoption part. We don't want 01.4. So let's select that column, add new column, extract text after delimiter. Just give us the another column for the any text after we put any delimiter. So we'll just add on a space. Okay. Yeah. So now also we just want only adoption part. So we'll select this again. Extract after delimiter. Another space. Okay. Yeah, we have got what we needed. So let's just rename it. And delete whatever the things we don't need. We want area name. Here we have group names. And we also have subgroup names. We just want subgroup names. So this looks good. We just go to our file, close and load. This is our query and this is what our query looks like. So let's just save it. And just name it. We always have to take care of the naming conventions. Let's open up our Power BI. So after this session, after this Power BI, we'll be getting a report like this interactive report. So let's open up our Power BI. When you open up your Power BI, you will get a window like this. You can add any data set that you can think of. We can also add that CSV file direct, but with Excel, it gives us more control. Will take 1 or 2 minutes. Power BI is a pretty heavy tool. So these are the types of file that you can import, work with. So let's just open up our Microsoft Excel. We want kidnappings. Now we have to select either the query or the sheet. We'll go to sheet because that is our final product. Let's just load it. It will give a warning that our query is not applied. It will apply it by itself, so no worries. So this is our work window. We can check our data from here. Yeah, everything looks good. A new cause is also there. So let's first add a counter, and we want to count how many cases were reported. We have to rename it. We have to make our report as good looking as we can. Copy it again. And in this we want to add what's the grand total of the causes. This grand total also includes the non-children, like the adults also. So now let's add a clustered bar graph to also call it as clustered column graph. This we want area name and the grand total of the cases. Yep, Uttar Pradesh is on the top, then Bihar, then Rajasthan. Now we add a simple bar graph. This will add cause and then grand total again. For this time, let's add female total and male total. Yeah, like this. Or we can use a chart like this, 100% stacked. Yep. I like to use this one. So,
Hello, Bhaiya.
hello.
Yeah, actually,
Yes.
I joined just now due to some net issues. I was not able to join.
Yeah, no
So,
problem.
yeah, so I just have this doubt with this Power BI part. Like, is it
Okay.
only used for statistical purposes?
Yes, you can use it with Python or R. So with Python, you can apply or quantitative or qualitative analysis or any algorithm that you want to
So,
chart.
sir, we use Matplotlib with this, right? Matplotlib.
No, Matplotlib and Power BI is totally different tools.
Okay, sir.
Matplotlib is inbuilt for Python library and R library.
Okay, sir.
So now we'll add a heat map. Yeah, we call this tree map in Power BI, but heat map in Python. This is the best tool to analyze the data. We'll now add area name. Female for 10 and 15. And female above 10 years. And then male. So as we can see from this chart, we have seen that total amount of kidnappings were high in Uttar Pradesh and Bihar. But when we see for childs, our capital, beloved capital, is on the top. So that's very sad. Now let's add a simple line graph. Okay. So in this line graph, we'll add year. So if you see the year is in x-axis, we want it in x-axis. It was in y-axis, so sorry for that.
Sir, you're using different types of representations, right?
Yeah, correct.
So, from where did you get this data? Like, first, how did you input the data?
Actually, I got the data from kaggle.com. It's a data hub. So yeah, then I cleaned the data using Microsoft Excel, and then we connect the Microsoft Excel to this Power BI.
Okay, sir. So, from that data, you put the data here. There
Yeah.
should be something somewhere where you have put the numbers.
Yeah. I connected the Excel sheet. This is the Excel sheet.
Okay, there is a way to connect the Excel sheet and then you convert it.
Yeah, you can just simply import it from file and then just import it.
How do we import it?
When you open the Power BI, you will get an option. It's in the front that import the Microsoft Excel.
Okay, sir. So from that, more visuals, right? A new visual. You click on new visual.
Yeah, it's in this visual tab. You can
Visualization.
select any from them, or you can browse others from the internet also.
Okay, sir.
So we'll add a new slicer. This is the best tool on Power BI. So we can slice it our data. We'll slice for year wise. we can choose whatever from the time period of the data that we call time series. Okay, so now let's add another slicer. This time let's choose the cause, for which cause which area was highest. So we can change it also for list. Sorry, drop down. This will be very easy to fit in. Yeah. So with this template, let's just hide them out. We can interact with directly. For example, for Delhi, what was the major cause? The major cause was marriage, other purposes, unlawful activities, and slavery. So that is very sad. Our capital is not very safe for children. So we can check this for the adoption also. Okay, so for adoption, Bihar is on the top, then Delhi. For begging, West Bengal, Maharashtra. I mean, the rich states are coming up for begging. For camel racing, we have also one for camel racing. Let's use it for that. Okay, Karnataka and Andhra Pradesh. No child was being kidnapped for camel racing. And what for that? Illicit intercourse, marriage. For marriage, I think, yeah, Gujarat, Maharashtra, Uttar Pradesh. I mean, you can choose whatever data set you want to check. This will give you in which year it was the highest kidnapping reported, what was the percentage of female male. In this also, what was the percentage of female male, what was the total amount of kidnappings. And then we can also, add themes to this template. The best part of using Microsoft tools, you can just prettify it with one click. Yep, like that. So this was it, guys. This was how we clean and process our data using Power BI. So I've made some useful cases of templates using live connectivity. So this is and another example using Power BI. This is the startup funding reports for 5 years in India. Over 2,349 startups got the fundings. It was about 38 billion, and the West Bridge Capital was the highest one to invest. Then SoftBank Group, all China here. Then Microsoft, Vijay Shekhar, also China. So if we see, Flipkart was the best start. Flipkart was a startup that gets most amount of funding, and who invested in this? Okay, so $4 billion were invested. It was come in the sector of e-commerce, and SoftBank and Microsoft was the highest investor. Then Rapido is in the transportation sector, and Westbridge invested most in it, and it turned out to be really great. So this was one example, and another one is this. So by using machine learning, I made an algorithm that will trade for me in equity market. So this is the weekly report of that algorithm. So sorry. So this is the section of that report that tells me companies to invest. This is the highest mover of the companies, like Infosys is on the top, then Wipro, ICICI Lombard. Then this is the yearly goal. I have 20% goal on my equity, and if I go on this rate, I'll end up with 15%. This is the bank Nifty and Nifty for 2 days. This is the number of trade taken. This is the success rate of the trade, then profitability, then weekly profit. So this was all about Power BI, guys. So if you have any questions, you can ask, or can we use Power BI for real-time data? Yes, you can use. There is a option for SQL also. you can directly connect it with any data set online, and you can use it from class, from Node.js, anything that you want. Yeah, so this was all about Power BI, guys. Now let's go to Miss Ankita Behra to know more about Tableau.
Well, Yashaswar. Before going to Tableau, I would really like to add in a little about data visualization. Like a little in-depth knowledge would be great for the everyone here. So Rohan, you there? Rohan Volti?
I'm just sharing
Yeah,
the screen.
yeah, great. So Rohan, can you give us a nice knowledge about what is really data visualization? So Yashaswar showed us how to do it, but can you tell us what it is?
Yeah, is my screen visible?
Yes, definitely.
Yeah. So like this was a very beautiful presentation by Jishwa about the crime rates and the marriage certificate by marriage of around entire data of India. Now, if I ask anyone to like just, I will give you an Excel sheet of like 1,000 columns or 2,000 columns and predict the data, like nobody could actually do that. So this is where actually data visualization actually comes in. Data visualization is graphical representation of information and data. By using visual elements like charts, graphs, maps, data visualization tool provides us an accessible way to see and understand trends of the data. In the age of big data, kicks into high gear, visualization is an increasing key tool to make the sense of trillions of rows of data and generated every day. So now, why is data visualization important? So like, let me ask you a question. Like I would say like there are around 4.66 billion active internet users around the world. So like most of you will start like, okay, like 1 billion has this many zeros. So like this many, and you would like start counting. Next, I will tell you like Facebook, in one day, Facebook posts around 350 million posts in a day. So now you will like, okay, 350 million. Okay, this is a large number. How can we like do this? So like, I would just tell you to take a pause and like, just think of these numbers as a Milky Way galaxy. Okay. So like Milky Way galaxy is home to approximately 20,000 Milky Way bytes. So now to match the number of the stars with the number of data created by Facebook users, so didn't it make like actually like imagine this entire number like one Milky Way galaxy? Then around almost all the 350 million data can be approximately considered as 20,000 Milky Way galaxies. So wouldn't it like kind of make it like useful and feasible to imagine all this data? So this is the actual intuition and the actual goal of data visualization, to make things easier to see, easier to visualize, and to count properly. So this is what it is truly said that a picture is worth 1,000 words. So this is the actual importance of data visualization. So next, like we come to a use case of power of visualization. Like a proper use case of power of visualization would be Uber rides. Like most of you, like all of you have probably booked an Uber. It shows the maps of where when your cab is coming and all that. So like Uber uses a data dense visualization to analyze compute across the region based daily, weekly, and monthly statistics. It also performs a real-time analysis of pickup drops of customer trips to understand the demand of the traffic patterns. Efficiencies involved. This visualization solely rely on the real-time data that is being given by the Uber app to this data. Now next, the pandemic. I know we all are here of this beautiful session in a virtual mode because of this pandemic. So pandemic requires data visualization, continuous monitoring of infections across the world in a path to take proper guidance and proper support to decrease the flow of infection. Such use cases require utmost adaptations possible. Furthermore, the visualization needs to get updated on a timely basis as case or numbers are published. There is no need to visualize like fancy charts. Like a simple line chart would do the trick. Line charts are very effective, showing change over time. Chart can be made effectively by supporting different forms of filter, aberration, and the ability to zoom in, zoom out. It uses trends and patterns of this curve to derive the insight about a region's proper fighting, how is the region properly fighting in the pandemic. Now, this is the chart of what I started talking about Uber, and this is a chart of the weekly COVID-19 cases throughout the pandemic. Now, next we have data visualization and machine learning. So, if data visualization pulls your data set out of a big data and visualize a specific data story to monetize the data, machine learning can bring added value by streamlining your data visualization process and more accurate, predictive, and profitable data. Companies are increasingly using machine learning to gather massive amounts of data that can be difficult and slow the sort through, comprehend and explain. Visualization offers a means to spread this present information to business owners, stakeholders in a way that everyone can understand. Machine learning data visualization is important to understand how data is used in a particular machine learning model, and it helps in analyzing it. So this is the actual need of visualization in machine learning. So this brings us to the end. So somebody was like asking about Matplotlib. So Matplotlib is a different tool that is used in Python, and this is something different. Tableau and Power BI, these are used to create real-time generate data, and whereas Matplotlib and everything is used while training a model and to visualize the data. Machine learning is not just about like just training the data, training a model and get the results. It's basically actually about visualizing the data properly, which means like you need to understand the trends, you need to understand everything in order to predict the proper prediction rate. So now I think most of you will be bored by my speech. I would like to hand over to Ankita Dev, who will actually give a live demo about the Tableau. Over to you, Ankita.
Thank you, Rohan. First of all, everybody, I want to congratulate all the UPG leaders and everybody who's present here. Thank you very much for joining. This means a lot to me. Secondly, as stated by my juniors previously, I am a senior in my college right now. Please do excuse me for any mistakes that I make. Anyways, I will be explaining about Tableau. So when we think about Tableau, it is a business intelligence software, right? So when I talk about business intelligence, what I want to drill upon is that the current analysis we do on Python and what we do on Matplotlib or Seaborn are absolutely redundant. By what I mean redundant, as in I don't exactly mean that you won't need it anywhere. You will need it in regards to your class credits and all, but you might want to like slow down a bit and analyze where exactly that big corporation, big companies that analyze big sets of data, how do they do that? They take a lot of information from Tableau, from sources of Power BI, and they try to integrate it in multiple layers, right? It's not just one layer. And for this reason, if you need to, I would advise all of you present here, those who are aspiring machine learning engineers, to develop a mathematical sense of intuition. What exactly I mean by mathematical sense of intuition, you'll get it as gradually I start explaining. Anyway, I'm gonna present my screen right now. For which I'll turn my camera off because I don't have too much internet connectivity. All right, Shubhayan, can you please confirm that you can see my screen?
Sorry, I didn't get you.
Can you see my screen?
Yes,
Yeah,
yes.
yeah, I can see.
In regards to any network disconnectivity, please do tell me beforehand. Right. So I'm just going to open my Tableau application, right? Tableau, this is the free version of Tableau that we're going to use for this session. You can get the paid version for about $850, if I'm not mistaken. I didn't check the data for a long time. So to make connections with the data that you have, there are two types of connections. You can either connect to a file that can be from Microsoft Excel, text, JSON, Microsoft Access, which is a multi-platform access for many sorts of data. And you can connect to a server. Now, for connecting live for real-time analysis, you need to have the premium software or the I don't know the exact amount of money that you might require, but it will be about $850. So, and that is used if you have large amounts of data or data that is being generated in real-time analysis. So for example, you have customers purchasing from your store, and you just want to get an idea of which of your branch in your store has the most amount of sales or etc. That can be done from here. One small disclaimer that if you have one system operating this entire thing, it tends to put a strain on your system. So in this case, you might want to practice distributed machine learning. Right. So I'm just going to load my data here. Before I load my data, I just want to show you guys what data I'll be operating with. There are several types of data that I'm going to show you just to give you a brief idea of how Tableau works. Right. So this data, it's going to be on methane emissions. The source of this data is specifically from this organization, International Energy Agency, right? And this is the data that I'm going to be using, preferably because it's very up to date. This database of country and regional estimates of methane emissions. Right. So I'm going to show you the data, what's it about. Right. So, oh, my bad. Right. So this is my methane emissions data. Now, as you can see, this is a very, very comprehensive data set, and it has a lot of columns. Columns can also be known as attributes, right? It has a lot of columns, and it is quite unclean as well. Why do I say unclean? Because computers cannot process information if you do not give it in separate columns and do not give it in numerical information, right? Generally, if it's categorical, then Tableau can work with it. I'll get to what categorical means. But if it is not categorical or numerical, for example, I would like to go with notes over here. It's just a bunch of string without any information, and it has very similar information. So essentially, this column won't contribute to any measurements at all. We'll just get rid of this column in terms of data cleaning. Right. I think this is the, and this is the second portion of the same data set in methane emissions. It is the abatement cause, I think, if I'm not very wrong. Just gonna check. Yeah, but anyway, we're just gonna go to Tableau, load our data set. Since they are not Microsoft Excel files, they are text files, right? I'm just going to load them via CSV. CSV means comma separated values. It basically, if you load them in your notepad, this is what they will look like. Like comma separated values will look like country, let's say India, name Ankita, age 22. Like that. That's how CSV files will look like in your notepad. Okay, so we can see the data has been loaded onto the software. Tableau has this feature called in-memory analysis. I want to drill upon this a little bit. In-memory analysis is a very nice concept because this means that you can operate with the data right over here without disturbing the original source. So one of the features that this can bring you is a little bit of flexibility in data manipulation. Not that much, but a little bit flexibility. The flexibility being you can perhaps change the data type over here. You can change it from numbers to date time to string, whatever you want. Like, for example, this is a string data type. Okay, I can change it into geographical role data type. Like, it would be, it will be, let's say, country or region, which is like, it fits along the data type. And this is a string data type, this is a string data type. The Tableau automatically recognizes the type of data you have. This would be geographical data type, this would be string data type, and this would be numeric, right? So operating with Tableau, we have worksheets and we have dashboards. On a layman term, right? I'm just going to show you how we can operate on Tableau using worksheets and dashboards. It's one of the greatest and the most useful things that does exist in the data analytics range. And these are the foundational steps of machine learning. So what I'm going to do here, I'm just going to explain a little bit on these tables column that we have. The tables are distributed into two types of columns. In the earlier versions of Tableau, there used to be dimensions and there used to be measures, but as we can see, there's no such thing in the current version of Tableau. Usually dimensions are those type of categorical data that we can use to analyze any type of data that has some qualitative information. For example, categorical data will be something like this. It will be something like if you have, say, name of fruit. Right. It can be cherries, banana, mango, and etc. This would be categorical data. However, if you also consider one range of data, it can be ordinal data. For example, position acquired. Okay, position acquired in a competition, in a quiz competition. That would be ordinal data. Why? It does convey some quantitative information along with the order. Right, along with the order, it would be first, third, fifth, etc. These are all categorical data. Anyway, I want to move on. So what I'm going to do here is I'm going to show you how to operate on this particular worksheet. This is our huge playbook. This is where we do the actual stuff. This is and rows and columns. This is how we operate. All of these are known as cards. Pages, filters, marks, columns, rows. All of these are known as cards. However, if you want to take in particularity of the rows and columns, especially in terms of machine learning, these are interchangeable in Tableau. So if you see someone interchanging them for some case, it doesn't necessarily mean their data visualization is wrong. Right. So Tableau has this feature of simple drag and drop. You don't have to do anything. You just have to drag and drop. Isn't it amazing? And I will just drag and drop the cost. And now you can see a wonderful, wonderful visualization that has been immediately categorized by the software. Like, I didn't have to lift a finger. And the software also provides you how to interchange between certain graphs that you have. For example, I just want this graph to take place. Right. So this is a multinational data set, and the various data indicates some kind of range or emission data that I'm not sure of because we didn't drill into the specifics of the data set that we have. In some cases, you can operate with the other type of geographical chart we have over here. Just give it a minute. Okay. For some reason, Tableau isn't recognizing the chart. You can use both geographical charts. Both of them have the same meanings and measures. It's just that this for some countries such as China, it has a negative value in the value of cost, right? Which we took a summation of. Why can we take a summation of this cost data column? It's because that it's a continuous data set. Continuity. There's a continuity in the data set, and if it was a discrete data set with no analogy between one value to another value, it won't be able to do the specific function that we did over here. Right. So one feature that I do want to show you guys, and it's quite interesting, is filters. Right. Filters is a unique property of Tableau, and it can also make your dashboard very interactive. And by this feature, what you're going to do is you're going to give the freedom to your customers or whoever viewing it, to your clients, customers, whoever the data set is being viewed by, and you can just ask them that you feel free to navigate between the columns. For example, I just want to use specific data set and I just want to leave a few countries out. Disclaimer, I'm not discriminating against any countries. I'm just going along with whatever I have to do for the understanding. Right. So I'm just going to get rid of this other, and I'm going to get rid of this others in Europe as well, and just go along with it. Right. And I'm going to do apply. Okay. So since it is applied right now, you can see that some regions are gone already. If you can't tell that I'm going to do a major country right now. Again, it's not discrimination. I don't know. Let's go with United States. Let's go with India. Okay, I found India. Let's go with India. If I just emit India from the data set, it will stop categorizing India. A while back, you could see India being in this visualization. But if I do it again, for example, edit filter, if I include India again, it's going to be there. There. Great. So this is one of the many features that Tableau offers. You can also navigate between, like in the marks table, you can change the colors of the countries that Tableau recognized. It was an automated process. If it's to your preference, you can make them pink, blue, yellow, doesn't matter. Right? Is somebody unmuted? Okay, I'll move along. Anyway, this is the marks. As I was saying, you can change the colors of the data set generated, right? And if you try to do much more analytical procedures, that requires some in-depth knowledge, of course. In the basic level, this is some things which I can teach you guys. Then you can do another thing called show filter. So if you do show filter, what it's going to do, as I'm going to open my dashboard, I'm going to show you that this sheet over here, if I drag and drop here, Tableau is all about dragging and dropping. It's going to show you certain things that it wouldn't have if we didn't apply the filter, right? Sorry. See, the filter is currently here. Like that. Okay, for some reason the filter is not paying attention right now. Okay, so this is how we can operate with certain data types that include geographical data. Another cool feature that I just wanted to say before I move on to the other data set is that Tableau can recognize latitude and longitudes by itself. So just in any case you needed to operate with one value and not the other one, please feel free to use it. Right. So I'm just going to open a new notebook. And work on my second data set. I'm going to follow the same procedure. I'm going to show you what type of data set I'm going to be using. 1 minute. Yeah. This is the data set that I'm going. So again, we come to the part where we have to analyze the data. Some columns in your data analysis can be redundant. Redundant as in they quantify information which is of no use. Okay, so for example, this type of column, if it has too many same values, we can discard some values of the column, or we can try to bin it, or we can try to get rid of the column entirely. If it does not result in data loss, do try to bin it, but if it does result in data loss, then try to omit it altogether. Anyway, the countries have been encoded, so we can't be discriminatory in this case. We'll just go along. with mapping this onto our Tableau notebook. So I'm going to connect the data in the same way that I have been doing. Curious. Right. So as you can see, same procedure. Tableau recognized the data set entirely by itself. I'm just going to go ahead and map this because I don't want. Yeah. So there's one big problem in this data set. That problem being in the time column. Can you tell me what the problem is? Like, this is a question to the audience. Shubhan, can you tell me what the problem is? Or anybody from the audience? Yashashva, what is the problem? What is the problem in this data set? Like, what is the problem that Tableau made in recognizing the time column? Like, I'm being very...
There's a comma.
Exactly.
After one.
Thank you, Yashashva. Anyway, I'm sorry if I burdened you guys. It's really aimed towards people who are very new to data science. I'm very sorry. But this is one aspect that I wanted to make you people understand to a point of remembrance. Because this is a critical problem that occurs all the time. Tableau, in recognizing your columns automatically, can make a mistake. That mistake is being, this time column is being recognized as a numerical column. Now, time, as I said, is an ordinal data set. It's a categorical column, not a numeric column. In some cases, such as hours, so let's say 5 p.m. to 6 p.m., that is quantitative information. But over here, this is not quantitative information because we are not trying to calculate the duration or anything like that. We're just trying to calculate the time values as ordinal data. Why do I say ordinal? Because 1974 occurs before 1975. So it has a rank, right? So I'm just going to change the data type into date. See if it does anything. Okay. One of the problems in changing it into date can result in automatic classification of 1st January of every single time column. So I'm not going to do that. I'm going to see if there's anything else that I can do, or I'm going to keep it a string. I'm just going to keep it a string for now, or a numerical value, right? So I'm going to move on to my analysis portion. Just going to do those few things which I showed you, country. It might be awkward, or I'm going to operate that. I'm just going to operate this value for numerical analysis. And let's just go with time column. I'm just going to change data type into date. It's not working. Yeah, so it automatically categorizes the entire thing into time. Essentially, like you can see from 1981 to 2021, there's a unique mapping of a line graph. Now, we don't have to make sense of this line graph right now. That totally depends on your +2 knowledge. Like, I'm not going to explain you like how to understand line graphs. I'm just trying to explain you where +12 knowledge meets data analytics, right? So this is going to be my line graph. As weird as it may look right now, trust me, it has some inference that we can work with. For example, what we did over here, we worked with a data set which was categorizing some kind of value. It might be, let's say, budgets of certain agricultural farms according to year. So country-wise, it will be divided in such a manner. And we can see the peak being in 1997. As I said, you can interchange the rows and columns. I inverted my entire data. So right now, it probably makes sense more because now you can see the peaks and the troughs. This is the thing that we're asking for. This is what we want you to analyze, and we want you to give us inferences that actually make sense, right? I'm just going to move on to dashboarding because we're approaching the final set of our explanation. So as usual, I'm going to drop the sheet. I'm just going to rename this. Let's just say agricultural farms. Agricultural resources. Okay. We're going to move on to the dashboard, and we can see that we have added this entire stuff, entire worksheet to the dashboard. Now, there's a very, very critical thing that I want to explain over here, and it is about manipulation. Right, manipulation isn't good, we all know, but in data science, it's not necessarily bad. Okay, so I'm just going to change the size of my data sheet so that we can just measure it. Yeah, it's just going to be bigger, nicer to see on the dashboard. So I'm just going to go back to my sheet, and what I'm going to do is I'm going to apply a filter. Let's see if we can apply a filter. If we can't apply a filter on here, I'm going to show you on this data set, right, where we could apply filters, right? So if I'm going to apply a filter over here, I'm just going to get rid of some major countries in order for your understanding. Let's just go with, what's United States? Okay, let's go with the United States, right? We're just going to omit that from the data set, and what's it's going to do? It's going to change the entire worksheet. See, Tableau automatically changes the entire worksheet. Now, once you start changing the worksheets so freely, it can result in biased data sets. Like the bias being, for example, if I'm going to get rid of this value over here, IEAAM. I'm just going to get rid of this value. It will change the entire data set, making it look bigger or smaller. Now stay with me on the same page, right? Be with me. If I add it back again, it's going to make the entire data smaller or more concentrated. Right. Now I'm going to go onto my dashboard. It has changed respectively. No surprise. If I shrink my dashboard, I can shrink. Or I'm going to let it be there. I'm just going to create another dashboard. One more. Sorry, my bad. There was some background disturbances. Anyway, I'm just going to drop both sheet 1 and sheet 2. So did you see the data immediately shrunk? And if you shrink the data, if you do multiple worksheets of data, and if you can shrink the data or manipulate the data, it can result in biased data sets, which can lead to wrong inferences. Now, you want your inferences to be very obvious and not, what can I say, distracting from the main problem. If you want to create manipulation, and if like in the context of increasing readability, you're just manipulating with the data and playing with the company's numerical values, it will be absolutely horrible. So do not do that. Try to be as clean in your data set and obviously in your ethics as possible. Right. So the final portion of the entire thing that I'm going to show you is how to upload your dashboard onto your Tableau public profile. So if there's anything that you do not understand, please feel free to tell me. Obviously, after my explanation. This is my Tableau dashboard, Tableau public profile, sorry. And I have uploaded many dashboards from my previous works. It includes my analysis for river basins and analysis for irrigation in India. And there's a correlation between these two. Unfortunately, the company never got to the end of it. Anyway, so what we're going to do is we're going to upload this particular dashboard onto my Tableau public profile. So if you're planning to appear for the competition and if you're planning to use Tableau, please submit it in this manner. I'm just going to go over to my file, save to public Tableau public as. So when you install your Tableau public, please create a profile so that you can just upload your dashboards and you can showcase them to potential employers or potential stakeholders. Let's just go with that. Great. I signed into my public Tableau and it's gonna get uploaded. I'm just gonna change the name. Just gonna say country analysis sample. Okay. See, you can probably see like this is my profile and this is what I have uploaded on Tableau. And we want you to share it with us via this small share button, which will be under your dashboard, particular dashboard, and just share it with us when you're done your analysis like that. Super easy, super simple. I love Tableau. I love working with Tableau when I'm lazy to do Python. So that's it from my part. I hope you have enjoyed my explanation. And in regards to this event, Shubhayan, please draw the conclusion, and we hope to see you again for the.
Definitely. Thank you, Ankita Di. That was a great insight in Tableau about data visualization. And I would like to open the gates for doubts. If anyone has any doubts, please speak up. We have a team here ready to answer every question, every doubt you have. And also, the event doesn't end here today. We will be having another day 2, that will be tomorrow, where we will be having a more insightful like knowledge about SDG, what is SDG, and also more about ML. We will be doing a whole like coding like Python coding of ML pipeline, where our friend Atik will be like doing from the basics to like get you to the amateur level. So yeah, that's what we have for tomorrow. We will be having new yeah.
Just interrupting you over here. I'm just gonna go through the chats. There are some questions on the chats. Like, if you guys can sort it for me, it will be great. I see a question from Anushka Das. Can you say the reason? What was the problem with the previous one? Anushka, I do not understand what you're trying to tell me. So if you have the floor now, you can unmute and ask the class if you're present with us.
Yes, that was the problem with that comma part. I didn't see that comma, that's why I was asking that.
Oh, all right. Okay, I got that. Any other questions?
No, thank you.
Is that all from questions? Okay, so yeah, Jimo, what's your question?
Yeah, thank you very much, Ankita. Once again, thank you for the invite. I'd like to ask, okay, I'm a beginner in data science here. I'd like to ask, what free resources I can, just up on to build my data science career, especially in Tableau and everything general. Thank you.
Thank you, Jimo, for the question. Actually, that's a great question, and that's a question we should be addressing to the audience. Anyway, some free or cheap resources for data science begin from YouTube. YouTube is a great place to learn, but I would say it's also a great place to get deviated. If you just want to go on one track, I would suggest Coursera. Right. So stay with me over here. If you can get access to Coursera, if you do not have access to Coursera, you can try to audit the class. So Coursera is the best platform along with EDX. EDX is also a great platform. Like, it's underrated because Coursera has so much fame, but EDX is a great platform for any sort of course that you want to audit for data science. And there are many, like, if you want to do coding more and data science less, like for us, we are a technical college. So if we as a college, we like coding more, I would suggest you to get DataCamp. DataCamp is the best resource for data science coding. It has everything in it, starting from financial analysis to deep learning. So I hope I answered your question, Jimo, and I'm gonna go over to Anushka's
Thank you
question.
very much. Yeah, I'm
No
already on
problem.
DataCamp. Thank
No
you.
problem. No problem. Anybody else besides Anushka? No? Oh, Anushka, pay attention to my screen once again. I'm just gonna explain it to you without the notepad, without the visualization. So I'm just gonna open my notepad. So the time data, it's usually 1924, 1909, 2002. Do you ever write your data like this? This means you are separating the essential, like, this is not something that machines understands, first of all. Even if you have, like, for example, 2022, you're supposed to write any type of time column like this. Suppose you have another data column of money. So if you begin with 100 rupees, 200 rupees, and let's say you go on to 2 lakh rupees. If you do that, what are the problems that the machine is going to encounter is the machine will recognize this as a comma separated file. Or if you do not have a CVSV file, it's just going to generate an obnoxious error if you're doing this on Python. If you're doing it on Tableau, it's just going to recognize, like, for example, if Tableau recognized the entire system like this, it's just going to be a numerical column. Numerical column. And you do not want your column, time column, to be numerical. You want it to be categorical. Categorical. And what categorical? You want it to be ordinal. Why ordinal? Because 1924 happens after 1909, but before 2022, right? So there is a order in the time years. In the years, there's an order. In case of money, I mean, you can say there's an order, but generally there's no order in machine learning intuitions. So in these numerical or date time columns, you just do not want any commas at all. Even if you're operating with Python, you just don't want anything related to commas. So have I made myself clear, Anushka?
Yes, maybe. It is clear. Thank you.
Okay, that's great. I believe we don't have any other questions. Do we have any other questions on chat? Siddhant, does Tableau integration have programming software? No, Tableau does not work on programming. Microsoft Power BI does use Python, if I'm not very wrong. Right, Yashashva? Yeah. Great. So that's it for today. Please join in for day 2, where we are going to have a speaker session by our leaders from United People Global. There are some really cool people, especially like 2 to 3 of them are just fantastic. Like they are my mentors. So some of them are just fantastic, and you're just going to enjoy a nice discussion. Just come around and hang out. All right, over to you, Shu.
Sure, I guess Ankita covered it up all. And if anybody has no questions, then we can wrap it up here. Thank you all for joining in today. Thank you so much. If anyone has any questions, they can stay back and can obviously ask the mentors here.
So, yeah, just a question that for tomorrow's session, is it okay if we work with PyCharm? Because in a VS Code, I'm facing some lagging issues. So I want to use PyCharm instead of VS Code. Is it okay?
Sure. Yeah, sure. No worries. You can use
So
PyCharm.
what libraries should I keep, should I download?
For tomorrow,
Matplotlib, NumPy.
Yes, Matplotlib, NumPy, Pandas, and sklearn should be mandatory. And
Okay, sir.
rest all you can download spontaneously over there only.
Okay, sir. So it is available in the libraries.
Yeah,
PyCharm.
Sure.
Okay, sir. Thank you, sir.
Great, guys. Thank you so much for joining in. It was great having you all. Such an active audience we had today. Okay. I guess, should we end the meeting for all? If that
Yeah,
is
sure. And
cool. Bye, guys. Bye.
bye-bye.
See you tomorrow.